so you guys thought that was the end of Doki Doki Literature Club? No, there's more. But yeah, there is one more thing that I missed last time, and that's Yuri's, I don't know why I stuttered there, Yuri's secret message. She does have a secret message, and to get to it, you gotta go to the character list where you delete Monica, where Yuri, Sayori, Natsuki, and Monica's characters' files are, and it's on a notepad. You open Yuri's notepad, it's gonna have an entirely different text than the rest. So this is Monica's right here. See? It's a lot of text. I don't think you can decode this, or maybe you can. Who knows? Look at all of that. That's so much text, right? See that? Here's Natsuki's, something similar. Sayori, here you go. And then there's Yuri's. Yuri's is something you can decode. So, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna select all, right? We're gonna grab all of this. I'm probably gonna have, yeah, the reason why I have Doki Literature Club open is because this is gonna be one hell of a long read. So we're gonna exit out of that. We're gonna open up, oh, hello, hey, you can see me right here. We're gonna open up Base Decoder, or, yeah, that's where the results go. Let's not go there. And now, if we decode this, we're gonna scroll down, and we'll see quite a long read right here. This is her hidden message. This is quite the message. Look at all this. See? So, this episode isn't more of a gameplay, it's more of a story time, and watch me stutter and mess up every single sentence. And we're gonna have, like, this music in a loop. So, don't mind me. Yeah, if it gets a little dark as we go down, actually I think it does get a little dark. I just saw axe. I just saw the word axe. Okay. Somebody's gonna die. Somebody's dying tonight. Anyways. So, let's get started, huh? I don't know what I'm gonna do here. What? Oh shit, I don't know what I just hit. Did I just hit something? Is everything okay? Is everything good? Is my recording still good? Oh yes, it is still good. Okay. So yeah, this music's gonna be going, this is gonna be background music right here. And yeah, let's get started and start reading. It's gonna be one hell of a long read. Alright, probably gonna have like a background of sorts. Like a little right here, maybe like Yuri. Probably Yuri, just for the most part. Okay, so if you found this note in a small wooden box with a heart on it, then congratulations, you are probably the first person to read this. I didn't really plan on sharing this with anybody, but for some reason I think it's exciting that somebody out there, a complete stranger, will come across this note and read my story. Someone I've never met, sharing such a personal bond with me. I'm fascinated that either one of us could die, even as soon as tomorrow, and the other being completely clueless to the fact. To you, my entire life is within this note, and so I will live for as long as your memory can carry me. Writing this, I'm wondering if it makes you feel fascinated or violated. It's so exciting. Say, alrighty. There we go. My scroll wheel is scrolling too fast, scrolling too much. I'm sorry if my story is a bit disorganized, but I like to get down while it's still fresh in my mind. First, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a first-year college girl. College? I thought she was in high school. Alright, did they even specify that they were in high school? I think they did. I think they're still in high school, but what the fuck? Okay, she's a first-year college girl. Okay. By most standards, a pretty unspectacular life up to this point. I grew up in an upper middle class school district with decent teachers. I did track in middle school and some in high school. And I've had 2 boyfriends. Now, 2? Polyamorous relationship. Lovely. Including me? Does that make it 3? Or am I one of the 2? Now I'm studying for a career in occupational therapy because I feel the field is undervalued and provides tremendous help for people. Alright, scroll a little down. I'm giving you this background because there's a strange misconception that if you want to kill someone, that you'd rather either sick in the head or have anger management issues. But it's very apparent that I don't fall to either of these categories. It's true that most murder cases are in a domestic setting, where someone loses control of their anger or something, but the thing is that those people kill under provocation, whether by a singular outburst or by a slow-burning series of misfortunes. Those people killed because, in that brief moment, they want a specific someone for a specific reason to be hurt or killed. Alright, we're getting we're getting a little dark now. Well, alright. What I'm talking about is wanting to kill someone for no specific reason. Maybe just to see what it's like. Did you ever get that? I wouldn't know how others feel, because it's not something I ever talked about, but I've been curious about what it's like to kill someone ever since I was a child. Huh! Lovely. Not killing anyone in particular, just a random person. It's always just fascinated me that if I put my mind to it, I can approach anyone and in 5 minutes they would have completely gone from this earth. Fuck, dude! But I've never done so for a couple of reasons. First of all, for most of my life, it was logistically impossible for me to do it without getting caught. I only got my driver's license a couple of years ago, but even then, the preparations would have taken too much time. Definitely stirring suspicion. It was only once I started college that I realized this was no longer an obstacle. Alright, damn Yuri. Curiosity of just killing people. Interesting. Lovely. Another reason is that I was afraid of causing harm to too many people. You might laugh reading that, at how hypocritical that sounds, but let me explain. Why should I feel bad about killing someone that if they're too dead to care? Holy shit. Who would I be feeling bad for? Contrarily, it's the grief of the living that I'd rather not be responsible for. Because I knew it would take a good deal of research before finding a suitable person to kill. And I've never had the means to do so. Again, until I started college. Damn, Yuri. Holy fucking shit. And we're not even like a fourth of the way in and she's going all ham on us. And now I have just experienced it. I'd say it was pretty satisfying in the end. Something I would try again. Probably not. Since my curiosity has already been satisfied, I really wouldn't be the same the second time. But anyway, if by any chance you're also curious to kill someone, then you're welcome to take notes. Got my notes. Okay. Jesus. I started a hobby of people watching soon after I entered college. People watching is interesting to me because it's taking one of the infinite extras in your life and turning him to a main character without them moving. Of course, it's easy to forget that every single one of your hundreds of strangers you pass every day has a life story as deep and complex as your own. One thing I notice about people watching and wanting to kill someone is that you're in more constant awareness of this. When I find a person to observe, their story slowly becomes more clear to me over time. Gaps are being filled. It is really amazing. God damn, man! I usually went to the grocery stores on weekends and looked around at people's shopping carts. If I saw something that interested me, I decided to observe the person for a little bit. Of course, since my goal was finding someone to kill, I ruled out anyone who had children or a partner with them. Wedding rings were another telltale sign. So maybe once a weekend I would find someone who fit my criteria, at which point I would follow them home and note their address. From there, it became incredibly easy to investigate a little bit more. Stalker? People watching? Damn. Most people have their normal work hours, meaning I could spend afternoons going through their mail or looking around their house. How would she even get into their houses? What? I repeated this with several people and had one close call, but for varying reasons I didn't really feel satisfied enough with them to kill any of them. I started getting a bit impatient and thought that I might just settle for killing the man named Devin. Even though I didn't really want to kill someone wealthy, but then I came across someone new. Someone who just... Wait, what is this? I came across someone who just felt perfect? The feeling only strengthened as I investigated her further, and I knew that she would be the one for me to kill. A young-looking woman I met at the grocery store, as per usual. She was doing some light shopping with a basket. Her hair was wavy, dark brown, sitting inelegantly on her slumped shoulders and surrounding her tired-looking face. Her bare fingers told me that she might be single, but beyond that, my gut was almost certain of it. This woman just seemed so plain. Really. I guess I felt a greater acuity for the personal lives of strangers ever since I started my people watching. But the way she carried herself, I just got the feeling that if she suddenly died, nobody would be around to miss her. Of course, I still want to investigate her a little bit. I follow my usual routine of checking out her place during her work hours. I learned immediately from her mail that her name was Linda Watson. Linda lived in a quiet apartment complex. Her mailbox easily accessible right outside her door. Instead of quickly shuffling through it, I decided I could take her mail back to my dorm and return it before she was finished with work. She only lived about 15 minutes from me. I did some research and learned how to open and reseal the envelopes without damaging them. Fucking wizard. Which took some technique along with hair dryer, rubbing alcohol, and Q-tips. This made it easy for me to learn a little bit more about her. Linda was a 33-year-old woman who worked for a small accounting firm. I'd rather not name the place outright. Her birthday was December 11th, which coincidentally was approaching in a couple weeks. I also managed to find a bank statement that gave me a nice look at how she's been spending her past month. It was at this point I realized that my assessment of Linda Watson was extremely plain woman was pretty spot on, because there was absolutely nothing interesting on the list. A trip to Old Navy, a bunch of Starbucks, something about $40 from Amazon, no restaurants, no movies, nothing would really imply that she was spending any time socializing. That aside, I also found a cooking magazine, so I guess she was into cooking. Apartments were harder to break into than suburban homes, because there are fewer doors and windows. Every time I got Linda's mail, I would check the front door and the windows in the back, but they were always locked. This was a bit frustrating because I was really interested in getting into her house. So I came up with a sort of plan that I thought would be fun, even if it didn't work. Last Saturday, oh shit, I lost my place, god damn it. Where was I? Right here. Last Saturday I visited Linda Watson's apartment complex as I would on the weekdays. The difference is that this time I wanted her to be home. I thought it would be interesting to have a conversation with her. If I got lucky, I would take advantage of the situation and discreetly unlock a window from the inside. So I walked up to her door, wearing nothing warmer than a light sweatshirt, and knocked. The adrenaline rush was crazy. I was afraid I might screw something up. The door opened and in front of me stood Linda Watson, exactly as I remembered her from the grocery store. It was at that moment, making eye contact for the first time, ooh, burps, and that I realized I was running the risk of beginning to care about this person. As selfish as it is, I couldn't kill the person I cared about, even if it was a 33-year-old woman standing in the doorway with a slightly perplexed look on her face, giving me a reserved hello. Arms crossed from the cold, I shyly returned Linda's greeting. I explained that I was walking my dog near the woodsy area behind the back of her apartment, and that I had gone away. I had been looking for my dog for an hour and was wondering if Linda could have seen him roaming about. Of course, Linda sympathetically apologized for the situation and that she couldn't be of use to me, but she would keep an eye out. I wore a defeated expression in response, apologizing in return for troubling her. It somehow went exactly as I'd hoped. God damn it. Linda invited me inside to warm up a bit with some coffee. I outwardly hesitated before accepting her offer, although in the inside I wanted to jump through the door and hug her for cooperating so well. And that's how Linda Watson ended up with a 19-year-old girl next to her on the couch. Who knows if it's just a nice gesture, or if she really has no better ways to spend her Saturdays than talking to some kid she just met, who happens to be interested in killing her. Okay. Linda soon learned that my name was Maria. It's not, quote unquote. wait, not quote unquote, parentheses, open parentheses, close parentheses, and that I attended a nearby community college, I don't, was a little bit nervous. I was a little bit nervous that she would ask me too many questions because I don't have many answers prepared. I was able to steer the conversation towards her, and she was pretty happy to talk. I asked what she does. Oh shit, I touched the mic. Did it sound loud to you guys? I'm sorry. I asked what she does, and she told me she works at an accounting firm, for the accounting firm I already knew about, communicating with outside clients and keeping records. I told her I was pretty nervous about growing up. She told me to enjoy college and to make lots of friends because there's less opportunity once you start working. When I asked if she was married or anything, she laughed. Of course I knew she wasn't married, but I wanted to hear more about her love life. She said that she doesn't currently have a boyfriend. I guess she's at least had boyfriends, but who knows how long ago. When I asked her about kids, she said she didn't want them, and until she gets a better job. On top of that, she told me that her family has a history of some genetic diseases, such as arthritis and depression, which she is afraid of giving to her kids. I don't know why that sentence was so hard for me. It's funny that she mentioned that she... Wait, what? It's funny that she mentioned that because when I asked her to use her bathroom, I noticed a tube of prescription pills in the sink. It was labeled duloxetine? Huh? Which I looked up later and discovered that it is in fact an antidepressant. I had a joking thought that maybe by killing her, I thought I'd be doing her a favor. But quickly I decided I was a terrible person for coming up with that. I mean, you're a terrible well. I have nothing to say, man. God. The rest of the visit was pretty dull. We talked about food and some other mundane stuff before I eventually made an excuse to leave. But I didn't have a chance to unlock my window or anything like that, but I didn't really feel the need to go through her apartment anymore. As early as the drive back to my dorm, I was already thinking about how I would best like to kill Linda Watson. The choice was between effectiveness and fun. I decided to go with fun because it would be way more satisfying to kind of dissect her as I killed her, rather than just getting it done and calling it a day. Fast forward 1 week later, December 13th, today. Actually, Linda Watson turned 34 2 days ago. I made a fun little wager with myself where if Linda was spending her birthday weekend alone, I would pay her a visit and kill her. If she was out or had company, I would stop by the next day or something instead. So this morning I drove over to Lowe's and bought an axe. Okay, that's where I saw the axe. I see. Okay. Again, I expect you're laughing, but that's also kind of the point. And the axe is so kind of cliche and a movies thing that I actually thought it would be the most fun. Swinging at someone and everything, it's really entertaining image. They had actually a bunch of different actions, so I picked the one that had a good weight, but still is light enough for me to swing quickly. The drive after getting the axe was when the adrenaline really picked up. All that kept going through my mind on the way over was, wow, I'm really doing this! Not in a bad way, just like a surprise, this is real life sort of thing. I also got this strange rush of recollections over the time I spent with Linda. It was like my life was flashing before my eyes, except it was just rather mundane hour I spent with Linda. Like snippets of our conversations. The sound of her laugh, her facial expressions and stuff. I also wondered to myself what the crazy serial killers would be feeling at a time like this. Schizophrenic delusions? Sexual breakup? Or sexual buildup? I have no idea. But what I felt was kind of like a ridiculously alert and numb in senses at the same time. However, that's possible. Before getting out of the car, I had the sense to stuff the axe into my backpack and to look a little less ridiculous walking across the parking lot. The handle was sticking out, but that didn't really matter. At that point, my heart was pounding so hard I could feel my throat throbbing. Until I tried to control my breath, but it's really hard to not breathe fast when your heart's pounding like that. Alright, we're a little bit over halfway. Man, this is quite the journey. I reached Linda Watson's door and quietly put my ear to it after setting down my backpack. I heard a voice that wasn't hers. Company? No. It was the TV, mixed with her occasional tapping footsteps behind the door. I actually kept my ear there for a really freaking long time because I wanted to make absolutely sure nobody was over. Probably 10 minutes of that and a lot of reassuring myself convinced me. I quietly opened my backpack zipper and held the axe in my hands. Wait, why would she do— oh, okay, she just opened it and just held it like that. I was like, oh, why would you just whip it out and just hold it like this? Why would you do that? But nah. My fiercely shaking hands. What the hell was this kind of reaction that my body's making? I told my body to shut up. That was no big deal. But of course it wouldn't listen. It was actually bizarre how much my hands were shaking. It must have been the adrenaline build up. I rolled my eyes at myself and got my hand to rest on the doorknob. If it's locked, I'll knock. It's basically the same. I took a deep breath and forced my muscles into action. I swiftly turned the doorknob, not locked. In one movement, I opened the door and slipped inside. Linda Watson, just a few steps away into the kitchen, I see. She was in the middle of cooking. She immediately jumped and turned around. Startled, I expected that. Quickly, I let go of the doorknob and adjusted the axe into both hands. Looking in the following split second, I realized that she'd probably start making a lot of noise. Looking back, I'm not an idiot for not considering that. As Linda's mouth opened to speak, maybe even started speaking, I forcefully swung my axe to the side of her head. Into the side of her head. Wait, how did she— wait, hang on. She a fucking wizard? Their kitchen— she has to have how did she make her way to the door to the kitchen that quickly? Huh? Okay. But my axe was facing backwards. I hit her with the blunt end of the tape. Why? I hit her with the blunt end of the blade. I actually did this on purpose. Because in that split second, I somehow decided it would be the way to keep her noise to a minimum. It actually worked. I felt barely any resistance in the swing as I collided with her head, knocking it clean aside. Linda's half-formed syllable came out as a weird grunt and noisy exhalation. It's probably the best I could describe it. What happened at the same time as her head smacked into the cabinet from the force, she fell backwards without any ability to keep her balance. I didn't hesitate at all to keep swinging at her while she was half lying down on the ground. This time my axe was facing the right way. I didn't really know where to swing, so I just kind of started hacking to collarbone area. Wait, I kind of just started hacking at her collarbone area and her chest. Yeah, I feel ya. I didn't feel like the axe was going too deep, but there was a nice thunk sort of sound every time the axe embedded into her. I even felt the soft sinking sensation ripple into my hands like the axe was some kind of physical extension of my sense of touch. On a whim, I swung once at her throat, but most of the swing actually missed and I hit the floor by accident, causing a loud, dull whack to resonate through the apartment. I didn't have time to think about it. I swung again with better aim and got a more centered hit, feeling the bone or cartilage or whatever is in there, so I must have split it open. Right after that, I decided to swing at her face, and decided I got this diagonal cut along her nose and mouth, which felt pretty good, so I did it once more. I finally briefly stopped to survey the damage. Linda was bleeding ridiculously. The blood was kind of coming out in waves, in sync with her beating heart. Probably. It was pooling all around her and riding along the cracks between the tiles. Her light blue shirt was all torn up and stained dark, kind of mixed with a fleshy mess around her chest. It was all just glistening red. Her face wasn't much better, covered with dripping blood at this point, and her lips was kind of hanging off, revealing red stained teeth in a really weird way, like a zombie or something. Linda wasn't dead though. Her limbs were kind of weakly, aimlessly trying to move while she was stuck on her back. More than anything, she reminded me of a bug that you'd crush, but it still pitifully moves its leg around before it dies completely. Great analogy. That's basically what she's doing, but I didn't know how long it would take for her to die, or what kind of condition she was in. I ended up grabbing a big knife that was on the counter that she was using to cut up meat. Trying to step around the blood, I reached down and carved into the upper half of her neck, trying to sort of saw it from the left side to the right. It was a little awkward because the area was so soft and squished around the knife as I was cutting, but the sensation was completely different from the axe. It actually felt like I was cutting a tough piece of raw meat, which I guess technically I was. The blood started pouring out, and I hope that I severed most of the major arteries in there because, it must have worked. Because after a moment, Linda's limbs movement just kinda had the strength drained from them. Soon resting still on the floor, I took a few seconds to catch my breath. No time to stick around and think about the experience. I shook the knife blade through the dirty pan and in the sink to clean off the blood, then threw the knife into my backpack. I did the same with the axe. I also took her laptop that was sitting on the counter. It had some recipes open for veal and mushrooms. I didn't really take the laptop to use it since I have a perfectly good one myself that I got for college. I just wanted to look through it for fun. Yeah, alright, I feel ya. I finally went outside and closed the door behind me. I got some blood on my sweaters and jeans, but funnily enough, I actually anticipated that, so I wore dark colors. The drive back to my dorm was just as constant replaying of the experience in my head. I guess it was still kind of happening even now. Actually, it felt pretty nice. Linda Watson is dead. I kind of let the weight of that sink in. The sensation of having completely removed a human life from existence. It's crazy! I don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, I threw the axe and knife into the dumpster on campus, which I think was picked up every Monday, so they'll be gone by then. My roommate goes home on weekends, so I have the dorm to myself today. It gave me the chance to go through Linda's website history. I was right thinking that where her deepest secrets will lie. That's where her deepest secrets will lie. There was actually a lot of dirty stuff, like names of websites for porn videos and stories and things like that. Same with her searches. A lot of the websites were boring, like cooking websites and recipes, and games website like Bejeweled and stuff. I eventually got to the 1 week ago section of her history, and it gave me a chill. There was a whole bunch of searches like methods of suicide and how to tie a noose, dangerously household chemicals, carbon monoxide poisoning. Like a lot of them. She was probably ready to write a book on suicide after all the research she did. So I guess Linda was contemplating suicide, I wonder if it was influenced by her depression. The irony was actually striking. Maybe Linda was going to die anyway, or maybe she couldn't find the courage to do it. If that were the case, I almost literally gave her a birthday present by killing her. That's actually really comical in a messed up way. And it leaves a weird taste in my mouth. The part I don't get is that I don't see any of those searches up until 1 week ago section. Nothing more recent than that. I ended up throwing the laptop in the dumpster with the other stuff. It's been a few hours since then, so I've had some time to calmly think about everything. Like I said, it was pretty satisfying and I'm glad I got around to it. I feel like I can finally cross it off my bucket list, or like I'm tying loose ends with myself. Good God, I don't know how trying came in there. I thought there was an R. This is probably the first time I'll write the name Linda Watson. Oh, the first and last time I'll write the name Linda Watson. Fuck me. It's back to normal. Back to living a normal college life. Except I might do something with people. Do some people watching every now and then because it's definitely fun and interesting. But I'll always wonder how many people there are like me. I'm sure there has to be a lot because there's just nothing strange about it to me. Being curious about killing someone, sadly, it's something that people can't exactly just talk about, so I guess I'll never know. I'm sure that anyone could just lie about it even if you ask them, but you can't help but wonder if a person in the grocery store who stares at you as you pass by might be considering what you would like to kill you. Wait, what? I read that weird. But you can't help but wonder if the person in the grocery store who stares at you as you pass by might be considering what it would be to kill you. There we go. Much better. If I could, I would tell them all about it, so they could decide for themselves. But who knows? Maybe I got lucky. And if that person was you, I actually really, really hope so. Well, and that was it. And we got a love heart right here. Let's say, what? Did I read the ending wrong? But who knows? Maybe I got lucky, and that person is you. I actually really, really hope so. Well, shit. Okay. Oh. Thanks. Hi. That just makes me like, I don't know. I really like Yuri. Just, I don't know if it's the story or actually, I think the story made me like her even more. Just because it's like, I don't know. I'm just about yanderes and psychopaths. 30 minutes of reading. Not too bad. Hey, it's like a full episode right there. Goddamn. Story time. Yay! Hopefully we find more things like that. Or other people find more things like that. So I could do more in Doki Doki Literature Club. And we have this music playing the entire time. God damn, dude. She fucking documented the entire thing. Well, actually, this is just, well, character-wise, she documented the entire thing. But somebody wrote this. Yeah. Holy smokes, dude. Take notes. Holy fuck me, dude. The detail, the amount of detail that came into it when she was dissecting Linda Watson. That was pretty gnarly. And then this ending here. This ending sentence kind of gave me a little bit of chill. I'm just going to reread it because it's great. But you can't help but wonder if that person in the grocery store who stares at you as you pass by might be considering what it would be like to kill you. If I could, I would tell them all about it so they could decide for themselves. But who knows? Maybe I got lucky and that person is you. I actually really, really hope so. God damn, dude. Alright. Yep, go Yuri. Hang on. Where is it? There's Doki Doki Literature Club. There she is right there. That's her. Yep. That'd be cool if each and every one of these characters had their own story. I would really be interested in Natsuki's story. Like, really be interested, because I wonder, like, she would, like a diary or something. Her little diary, and she documents, like, I hate today, something, something, my dad beating me, whatever the fuck. Sayori, too. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Monica. I don't know what Monica's would be about, really. She's just like an envious person. Is she envious? In a way. I don't know what Monica would be like, but I can imagine these three. Actually, we already read Yuri's, but these two. Great! Start a new playthrough. Now I'm playing. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. 30-minute story. I'm sure I did. That just makes me like Yuri even more. Fuck, she's amazing. She's great. Who doesn't like yanderes? Actually, a lot of people don't like yanderes. A lot of people are like into the tsundere type people. But yeah, I'm a yandere type of guy. They're pretty cool. All right, I think that's it. I think that's the end of Doki Doki Literature Club until whatever happens next. If there's like if there's a Sayori diary or any diaries or whatever that's these characters, I'll read it. Why not? Further improves my reading skills. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, or this final episode. God damn it. Yeah, leave a like and enjoy your video. Subscribe now and enjoy the content. If you like this video, share it with your friends. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!